Plants and ecosystems. We begin with plant nutrition. Photosynthesis uses sunlight to produce food. This process occurs in green plants. Photosynthesis is a chemical reaction. It creates a sugar called glucose. Plants use glucose for energy and growth. This growth increases biomass of the plant. Photosynthesis happens in green plant parts. Leaves are the primary location. The process requires 4 factors. First is light energy. Light energy comes from the sun. Second is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment in chloroplasts. Third is water. Roots absorb water from the soil. Water travels up the stem to the leaves. Fourth is carbon dioxide. This gas enters leaves from the air. It diffuses into the leaves. Chlorophyll captures the light energy. This energy converts carbon dioxide and water into glucose. Oxygen is released as a byproduct. The reaction has a word equation. Carbon dioxide and water are the reactants. Glucose and oxygen are the products. Light and chlorophyll are required conditions, and we write them above the arrow. Leaves are adapted for efficiency. A broad leaf provides large surface area. This area captures maximum sunlight. The plant cells contain chloroplasts. Most chloroplasts are found near the top of the leaf. This placement helps them absorb more light. The leaf underside contains stomata. Stomata are tiny holes, tiny pores. Carbon dioxide diffuses in through them. Oxygen diffuses out. Internal air spaces allow gases to move between cells. A network of veins runs through the leaf. These veins deliver water to the cells. These veins also transport glucose away. Plants also require soil minerals. Glucose provides energy for growth. However, health requires mineral nutrients. Roots absorb these minerals from the soil. Minerals must be dissolved in water. Roots absorb both water and minerals together. Next, I will speak about plant reproduction. Flowers contain reproductive organs. There are 4 key parts. First are the stamens. Stamens are the male parts. Each stamen has an anther and a filament. The anther produces pollen grains. Pollen grains contain the male gametes, the male sex cells. The filament holds the anther up. Second is the carpel. The carpel is the female part. It consists of 3 structures. The stigma is sticky and sits at the top. The style is long and supports the stigma. The ovary is large and round and found at the base of the carpel. The ovary contains female gametes the female sex cells. Third are the petals. Petals are often brightly coloured. They attract insects for pollination. Fourth are the sepals. Sepals are usually green and leaf-like. They protect the flower when it's a flower bud. Sepals sit below the main petals. Pollination transfers pollen to a stigma. Reproduction requires male and female sex cells to meet. Pollen must move from an anther to a stigma. This transfer is pollination. Self-pollination occurs within the same plant. Cross-pollination moves pollen between different plants, but different plants of the same species. Cross-pollination happens in two main ways. First is insect pollination. Insect-pollinated flowers have bright petals. They often have a scent and nectaries. Nectar is a sugary food for insects. Their stigmas are sticky to catch pollen attached to insects. Second is wind pollination. Wind-pollinated flowers have small, dull petals. They often lack a scent and nectaries. Their filaments are loose and long. Anthers hang outside the flower to release pollen. They produce large amounts of light pollen. Their stigmas are feathery. Feathery stigmas which catch the airborne pollen. Next, I will speak about fertilization and seed formation. Fertilization is the joining of sex cells. Pollen is the plant's male cell. Pollen grains land on a stigma. Insects or wind assists this. A pollen tube then grows. This tube grows down the style. It reaches the ovary. A male nucleus travels down it. This nucleus joins a female nucleus. They join inside an ovule. This joining is fertilization. Seeds form from ovules. The ovule develops after fertilization. It becomes a seed. Each seed contains a dormant embryo. This embryo is inactive. It has a stored food supply. The embryo uses this store later. Growth begins when conditions are right. This growth is germination. The ovary also develops. It becomes a fruit. The fruit surrounds the seed. Fruits attract animals. Animals eat the fruits. Seeds scatter in the animal feces. This is seed dispersal. Dispersal reduces competition. Seeds spread out to grow. Dispersal occurs in several ways. First is wind dispersal. Dandelion fruits have parachutes. These catch the wind. Sycamore fruits have wings. Wings aid flight from the parent tree. Second is animal dispersal. Tomato fruits are eaten. Seeds pass out in droppings. Burdock fruits have hooks. Hooks catch on to animal coats. Third is explosive dispersal. Pea pods dry out. They split open forcefully. This flicks the seeds out. Fourth is drop and roll. Horse chestnut fruits are heavy. They fall from the tree. The fruit splits on impact. The seed rolls out. Animals often disperse these seeds further. Next, I will speak of investigating seed dispersal mechanisms. Seed dispersal is investigable through fruit drops. Classroom experiments can test dispersal. Wind and drop mechanisms are simplest. Use fruit containing seeds. Compare different seed types. Sycamore and horse chestnut are examples. First, drop the fruit from a fixed height. Drop it directly above a ground point. Then measure the dispersal distance. Use a tape measure for this. Record each distance. Repeat this process 3 times. Calculate an average distance. This allows for fair comparison. A fair test requires controlled variables. Keep the dropper constant. Keep the drop height constant. Keep the location constant. Avoid doors and windows. These controls prevent drafts. Wind is a dispersal factor. A fan can simulate this. Sycamore fruits have a special shape. This shape catches the wind. Wind carries seeds from the parent tree. To test wind, introduce a fan. Place the fan a fixed distance away. Switch the fan on. Set it to a constant speed. This maintains a fair test. Then drop the fruit again. Measure the new travel distance. Sycamore seeds travel farther with wind. This result is not universal. Different seeds respond differently. Now, I will speak on dependence on other organisms. Organisms depend on other organisms. This is interdependence. An ecosystem contains living things and their environment. These organisms are interdependent. They need each other to survive. Almost all life depends on plants. Plants capture the sun's energy. This solar energy is the source for almost all life. Plants use this energy to make food. This process is photosynthesis. The food builds organic molecules. These molecules are carbohydrates and proteins. They become part of the plant's cells. These molecules store the sun's energy. Animals eat the plants. This transfers the stored energy. Other animals eat these animals. Energy transfers again. Only plants, algae, and some bacteria photosynthesize. Therefore, nearly all life relies on plants for energy. Plants release oxygen. They also take in carbon dioxide. Respiration requires oxygen. Respiration releases carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis does the opposite. It releases oxygen and takes in carbon dioxide. This process maintains atmospheric oxygen. It also regulates carbon dioxide levels. This shows organisms affecting their environment. Many plants depend on insects. Insects provide pollination. Bees, moths, and butterflies are examples. Without them, these plants struggle to reproduce. This affects the plants. It also affects the humans. Many crop plants require insect pollination. Pollination produces fruits, nuts, and seeds. Humans eat these foods. Thus humans depend on insects for food supply. Now I will speak of food chains and food webs. Organisms depend on each other for food. Food chains show this consumption. Each chain exists within an ecosystem. Plankton is food for small fish. Small fish are food for squid. Squid are food for whales. Arrows indicate what is eaten. Arrows also show energy flow. Food webs are interlinked food chains. Plants are producers. Producers store energy from the sun. Herbivores eat only plants. Tadpoles, rabbits, and aphids are herbivores. All animals are consumers. Consumers are not producers. Primary consumers eat producers. Secondary consumers eat primary producers. Tertiary consumers eat secondary consumers. And carnivores eat only animals. And the top carnivore has no predators. Omnivores eat both plants and animals. Bears are omnivores. Organisms in a web are interdependent. A change affects others. Consider minnow removal. Tadpoles would be eaten less. Water beetles would be eaten more. Perch eat more beetles without minnows. Waterweeds would be eaten more. Tadpole numbers would increase. Poisons build up in food chains. Toxins enter and harm organisms. Toxins accumulate up the chain. Top carnivores are the worst affected.